Hello learners! Welcome sa aking YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and click notification bell.
Magandang araw muli sa inyong lahat. Sa araw na ito, pag-aaralan natin ang equations transformable to quadratic equation. There are quadratic equations that are not written in standard form. Hence, the procedures in transforming these equations into quadratic equations may also be different. So, itong pag-aaralan natin is para sa mga quadratic equation na hindi naka-standard form. So, once the equations are transformed into quadratic equations, they can be solved using different methods such as extracting the square roots, factoring, completing the square, and using the quadratic formula. And you can use the most convenient method for every quadratic equation. So we have example number 1. Solve x, the quantity x plus 1 equals 12. So, kailangan nating isimplify yung expression na x times x plus 1 using the distributive property of multiplication. So, we have x times x, we have x raised to 2, x times 1 is x, and equals 12. So, we have now x raised to 2 plus x equals 12. Next one is to write the resulting quadratic equation in standard form. So, ito transpose lang natin si positive 12 to the other side. So, we have now x raised to 2 plus x minus 12 equals 0. So, quadratic equation na siya na naka-standard form. So, next thing to do is use the most convenient method in finding the solution or solutions of our equation. So, dito, ang ginamit ay factoring. So, i-factor natin si x raised to 2 plus x minus 12 equals 0 para mahanap natin yung solutions ng equation. So, the factor of this equation is x plus 4 times x minus 3 equals 0. Why? So, ito. What is the factor ba ng x raised to 2? We have x and x because x times x equals x raised to 2. And then, look for the last term. What are the factors of negative 12 na pag pinag-add mo, ang result is positive 1. So, we have 4 and negative 3. That's why these are the factors of this equation. Next one is to equate the factors to 0. So, we have now x plus 4 equals 0 and x minus 3 equals 0. In-equate na natin sila sa 0. And then, solve for x. So, all we have to do is to transpose 4 dito to the other side. So, we have x equals negative 4. Dito naman, we transpose negative 3 to the other side. That's why we have x equals positive 3. So, therefore, the roots of the equation are x equals negative 4 and x equals 3. Madali lang, di ba? So, let's have another example. Solve for 3x plus 8 square root of x minus 3 equals 0. So, paano natin gagawin to? So, ito yung nakikita natin. 3x plus 8 square root of x minus 3 equals 0. Pero, pwede natin gawin ganito. 3 times x, 3 times square root of x raised to 2. Kasi yung 3x at 3 times square root of x raised to 2, the same lang sila. Kasi ito makakancel din yung kanyang radical sign. In-expand lang natin para may kasama yung 8 square root of x na may square root of x. Okay? So, we have now 3 times square root of x raised to 2 plus 8 square root of x minus 3 equals 0. Using substitution, we will let m equals square root of x. So, pwede kayong gumamit ng kahit anong letter, pero dito gumamit tayo ng m. We let m equals square root of x. So, lahat ng square root of x, papalitan natin ng m. So, we have 3m raised to 2 plus 8m minus 3 equals 0. Uulitin ko. Kaya naging ganito to kasi lahat ng square root of x, pinalitan natin ng m. Next thing to do is to factor this one. So the factors are 3m minus 1 times m plus 3 equals 0. This is the factor. Next is to equate the factors to 0. So we have 3m minus 1 equals 0 and m plus 3 equals 0. Then solve for m. So dito, we have 3m minus 1 equals 0. We transpose negative 1 to the other side. So we have 3m equals 1. Dividing both sides by 3 to get the value of m, we have m equals 1/3. So this is our yung unang value ng ating m. Next one dito tayo, m plus 3 equals 0. We transpose 3 to the other side. So we have m equals negative 3. Pero hindi pa dyan natatapos, ha? Find the value of m equals square root of x. So ibabalik na natin si square root of x. So we have square root of x. Tandaan nyo, ito yung m kanina. Binalik lang natin sa square root of x. So we have square root of x equals 1/3. Paano natin makukuha yung value of x? Kailangan makancel or mawala yung radical sign. Paano natin gagawin yon? I-erase natin both sides by 2. So we have now square root of x raised to 2 equals 1/3 raised to 2. So square root of x raised to 2 is equal to x and 1/3 raised to 2 is equal to 1/9. Dito naman tayo sa ikalawang value. We have square root of x equals negative 3. The same, yung ginawa natin, gagawin din natin dito. I-erase natin both sides by 2. So we have square root of x raised to 2 equals negative 3 raised to 2. So square root of x raised to 2 is equal to x and negative 3 raised to 2 is equal to 9. So therefore, the roots of the equation are x equals 1/9 and x equals 9. Next, we need to solve for 2 all over 3x raised to 2 minus 2x equals 2/5. So, to solve the given equation, you can do the cross multiplication. So, magko-cross multiply tayo dito. So, ganito siya. So, 2 times 5 equals 2 times 3x raised to 2 minus 2x. And simplify natin. 2 times 5 is 10. Using distributive property dito. 2 times 3x raised to 2 is 6x raised to 2. Next, 2 times negative 2x is negative 4x. And then, write the resulting quadratic equation in standard form. So, transpose lang natin si 10 to the other side. So, we have now 6x raised to 2 minus 4x minus 10 equals 0. Yan na yung ating quadratic equation na naka-standard form na. So, use quadratic formula to solve for the equation. So, next thing we need to do is to identify the value of a, b, and c. So, sa equation na ito, ang ating a is 6, our b is equal to negative 4, and c equals negative 10. And then, substitute the values of a, b, and c in the quadratic formula, then simplify. So, ito na siya. In-input na natin yung value ng a, b, and c sa ating quadratic formula. So, we have now x equals minus negative 4 plus and minus the square root of negative 4 raised to 2 minus 4 times 6 times negative 10 all over 2 times 6. So, that is equal to, ito magiging positive 4 na siya, plus and minus the square root of negative 4 raised to 2 is positive 16. We have also 4 times 6 times negative 10, that is negative 240. Pero minus negative 240, that is equal to plus 240 all over 12. So, that is now equal to 4 plus and minus the square root of 256 all over 12. And the square root of 256 is 16. That's why we have 4 plus and minus 16 all over 12. So, solve for the values of x. We have now for the first one, dun muna tayo sa plus. We have 4 plus 16 or all over 12. That is equal to 20 over 12. And that is equal to 5 over 3. Sa second one naman, gagamitin natin is minus. We have 4 minus 16 over 12, and that is equal to negative 12 over 12, or that is equal to negative 1. So therefore, the roots of the equations are the roots of the equations are x equals 5 over 3 and x equals negative 1.